To be 20 again. There's not a lot of info on what your net worth should be by age 20 because let's face it, you're 20. You're probably still in school and you have no idea what you want to be or what you want to do with your life. But what I did find was this article showing that the average 22-year-old has a net worth of negative $39,915. Yes, negative 40 grand. So if you're watching this and you're 20 years old and you have $0 to your name, well, you're already better than average. But seriously, this number is likely based on having extreme student debt, which most of us in North America have. 20-year-olds are just starting out in the world with nothing, and they're being told to go to these schools and take on all of this debt, which by the way, you can never, ever, ever avoid. Yeah, if you go bankrupt at any point in your life, all of your other debts will get taken away, but not your student debt. That stays with you until the day you die. Now, being a self-made multimillionaire, I'm gonna give you some of my recommendations on what I think you should do at 20 to start getting ahead and be better than average. Starting with number one, and you probably don't wanna hear it, but get a job. It doesn't have to be a really fancy job. In fact, it's probably not gonna be at the age of 20 with probably little work experience. I know it might be tough because you're saying, I'm in school, there's no way I can get a job, I'm too busy on my studies. I'm gonna tell you something real. My wife did all of her schooling while working an almost full-time job and got a ton of scholarships. So her full-time job paid completely for her school tuition. Now we're from Canada, so our schooling is much, much cheaper than you guys in the US. I feel bad for you, but she still made a ton of money over and above what her school tuition was. And she got a number of scholarships for being such a good grade nerdy head, and she actually made several hundreds of thousands of dollars. So she was in school for like 12 years. It's a whole career thing. So that's one hack you can probably do, is just be a lifelong student, but I don't recommend it unless you really like what you're doing in school. The second thing you're gonna wanna do as soon as you can is get a credit card. Welcome to boring adulting, where you need to establish your credit rating. Super important, but you need to start building your credit now while you're young, and getting a credit card is super good at doing that. And surprisingly, most 20-year-olds all the way up until they're about 30 don't even have one or don't even think about getting a credit card. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and just spend it on stupid stuff. I want you to buy everything that you would normally buy, food, gas, whatever, clothes, but make sure you pay it off every single 2 weeks. Don't wait that whole 30 days, and certainly don't let it go over so you start getting charged interest. In just about 2 to 3 years from now, if you have a 0 credit rating, you will probably get to above 700, possibly even above 750, which is a stellar credit report, which is what you're gonna need when you get into your 30s. Number 3, start the 50-30-20 saving rule. So 50% of your income is gonna go towards needs, so housing, food, things that you actually need. 30% of your income is gonna go towards things that you want, and 20% of your income is gonna go towards saving. Now, hopefully while you're in school or you're just super young, you're living with mom and dad still, and you can literally save like 80% of your income. Don't buy anything stupid. Save as much as you can. But here's the thing, there's always a twist when I say saving your money. Being 34 now and looking back on all the people I know who were of this save mentality, they're all losers when it comes to financial wellness and financial abundance. Now, what you actually want to do is take those savings, but don't just put it in your piggy bank or your low interest savings account online. Take that 20% and invest it. Time is on your side. There's this thing called compound growth with investing, and the older and older you get and the longer you're investing, the more wealthy you're gonna get, and it's absolutely insane. Even if it's just $100 a month, this is the time in your life where you can just eat bananas and ramen noodles, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, none of that stuff, and put it into a boring investment like an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. So if you don't know what that is, basically it's a pool of companies. So by investing in a boring ETF like the S&P 500, it's just easy peasy. You're investing in the top 500 companies in America and investing in Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Google, big companies, and those companies aren't going anywhere. You can also place your money in VTI, which is even bigger. It's about 2,500 stocks, and it's all of the public traded companies in America. Super boring, which is what I like. I love boring investments that just grow and compound every single year. So the average return on the SPY, the S&P 500, is 8% every year. Some years are way higher, some years are a little lower, but on average, it's 8% every year. That compounded over 10, 20, 30, 40 years is absolutely no joke. Just set it and forget it for now in your 20s. And I'll tell you what to do when you get into your 30s. And last but not least, number 5, do not pay off your student loans. Yes, This is a controversial one. There's a lot of finance people here on YouTube telling you gotta pay off all your debts, pay off all your loans. Why? Your student loans is very, very cheap money compared to what you can make in other investments. For example, your average student loan interest rate is what? Somewhere between 1, 2, and 3% max. S&P 500 makes 8%, 10%, 12%, or more on any given year. So pay your minimum payments and put it into investments that make way, way more money. This is a rich general rule of thumb that all the rich people do that nobody really understands and nobody does. Everybody thinks you gotta pay off your debts, pay off your mortgage, pay off your car loans, pay off this, pay off that. That's what poor people do. Rich people leverage cheap money. That's what a lot of people here on YouTube aren't talking about.